2 bodies found, 4 vanished forever, and 1 right after the other, and within a short 5-year span. What took place in Bennington remains a mystery to this day, and while people are still searching for answers, the trail went cold decades ago. Okay, let's go. Bennington, Vermont is in the US of A. Shock. It's almost like I never do anything in the US.
I was about to go, oh.
Wow, why change?
We've come this far.
Yeah, and we will continue coming
This far.
this far forever.
Come wherever I want.
Bennington, Vermont is in the US. It is bordering New York to its west, Massachusetts to its south, New Hampshire to its east,
All
and
right.
Montreal, Canada to its north. I love Canada so much.
I know, if they didn't know that already. They're not now.
I'm literally going to be a spokesperson for
Every
Canada.
episode.
Yeah. If I can weave like Canada into every ep,
Yeah.
I will.
Do you know what's awesome? Canada.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Anyway, I digress. This place seemed relatively unassuming, a little modest, a few museums, battle memorials, art galleries, beep, bop, boop. They would refer to it as charming.
We're fucking charming.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I've never been there. I maybe Google Earthed it and
no.
had to walk around for a little bit to be like, oh, what do you have to offer? It's not Canada. It's
But
not.
of course you fucking did. You grabbed the little person, you did a little photo. Oh, I'm just going to head down to the store.
Yeah, and then I wanted to see like these memorials that were
Yeah.
there. And okay, yeah, it does look a bit quaint, but it is not Canada.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested.
So it's not charming.
It's like Vermont charming.
Yeah.
While that might be how some people view it, the same can't be said for those who perished in the most peculiar ways between 1945 and 1950.
Are you going to Idaho me?
You Idaho yourself.
Gonna Idaho you.
Am I like Silver Valley, Idaho?
Yeah. I'm excited.
Am I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, like, Idaho, technically, the first little weird incident happened, like, before the thing happened and wasn't really included with the other things that happened because they were like, why?
Yeah.
It's just how it is. So we're on that train of thought. While those date ranges, 1945 to 1950, whatever, might be a thing, there was one incident that took place in 1943 that wasn't really grouped with the others, the 5 others.
Oh.
Right? And that's because it was like the first one that happened. So when one thing happens once, people aren't really like
Yeah.
worried about it until things start to happen and patterns emerge, and that's when they're like, oh my god, this is a part of this thing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And this victim's name was Carl Herrick.
Oh, not Carl.
Oh, Carl with a C though, it's
Oh.
fine. And it was in November of 1943. Carl was out hunting with his cousin Henry. That's right, Carl and Henry, cousins. Subsequently, in the center of the Bennington Triangle. Insert spooky noise here.
That's a creepy name.
The 2 of them lost track of each other somehow.
What?
Yeah. And after Henry couldn't locate Carl, sounds a little bit codependent, but that's okay. He contacted the authorities, and a small search party found his body 4 days later.
Oh no.
Carl is no more.
What happened to Carl?
Well, they found his gun near him, so he had it with him. He'd been hunting. Makes absolute sense. Gun had not had any bullets discharged. No discharge. Oh.
Yeah.
But he's dead. He was an experienced hunter too, by the way, just so you all know. So you can reasonably assume that he would have actually known the area.
That's what I was going to say. Like, if he had been out hunting heaps before, they're not going to get lost.
Right. That's not even the strange part. An autopsy is performed. Like norm. Happens everywhere. Take a wild guess. Like, take the wildest of wild guesses, pull it out of the air, shove it up your bum for a second, floss it through your minge, and then hit me with it.
Suffocation.
Of what you think happened. No.
Well, because I was like, he's in the woods. Asphyxiation.
Oh, fancy words.
I
So
don't
you're using
know.
your 100 little words now, are you, bitch?
My copy paste.
All right, you copy paste words.
No, well, I'm just thinking if you're in the woods.
Yeah, but I want you to think outside of the woods. I want you to go wacko jacko.
Electrocuted.
No.
That's fucking wacko
You're
jacko.
right, it is. Like just a bizarre
Drowned.
way to... No, a bizarre way
I'm
to die.
fucking telling you bizarre ways to die in a forest. Take the forest out.
Just like, just in general, a weird way to die. It has nothing to do with Jack.
I was like watching porn and...
What is
no,
that?
that's the strangulation of
Oh,
watching porn.
autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
It turns out he had been squeezed to death.
Fuck off. I wouldn't have got that.
Well, that's why I said think far. And
He
she
was
come up with
squished.
electrocution and drowning. Think far. Or he suffocated. All right, hun.
So... squeezed to death.
Squeezed to death. His ribs had even punctured his lungs. He was squeezed to death.
But like from the inside, or could they noticeably see? You know what I
What's
mean?
going
Like,
to squeeze you inside, babe?
huh?
What's going to squeeze you inside?
I don't know if it's just something fucking weird where they're like, oh, he looks normal.
They
and
were
then they
able
do
to
an
tell because his ribs had been crushed and they punctured his lungs. So he had been squeezed to death.
Yeah. But like when they saw him.
This is what
did
came out of
they-
the autopsy. So
Yeah.
I don't know about like if you could notice it.
That's what I mean. Like if they could see anything to be like.
But also humans are kind of rubbery.
Yeah.
So even if something was like squished, you probably wouldn't notice it unless you're flattened by a fucking steamroller.
Fuck me.
Squeezed to death. And when the news broke, the locals were unfazed. They're like, oh,
Shit happens.
sorry, Carl.
Wouldn't you be asking? Oh. That was really. I was going to say, if you're going hunting, I don't know, is there bears there? Is that bars?
If a bear were
Not
to
those bars, but is
kill
that
you,
bars?
like big gay hairy man in the
Yeah.
bush, no. If there were, like, yes, there would be bears are everywhere in America, but bears do not, like, they will rip at you, they will bite you.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like,
No signs of animal attack.
but that's what I mean. If you'd be unfazed if it's like, oh, bear attack, but squeezed to death, and you're just like, cool, okay.
And okay, here's an idea. I can understand if maybe a boulder fell from something and squished you, and then you
Yeah.
squeezed it as sure.
Yeah.
No boulder, dude.
What the fuck? I'm just more like, why aren't people fazed by that?
I don't know. Maybe it's
That's-
the area. They're like, well,
Ah, it happens.
we're in Bennington.
Yeah. Oh, I like this already.
Now, fast forward 2 years, so we're still in November, but now it's 1945, and we get to meet Midi Rivers.
The person's name.
Midi Rivers. Yeah.
River.
Middie Rivers.
I like that.
He was 74, and he was also an experienced hiker and hunter who you can bet your bum had done this many, many times. So he also would have known the area very frickin' well.
Yeah.
Well, old Mitty had at least done this trail, this specific trail, a bunch of times. So he was very, very, very familiar with it, and he was walking with a small group. And he decided that he would go ahead of them. For why? I don't know. Maybe it's because, like, he might have been used to doing things at a certain pace.
Yeah, and if people are fucking around,
Then you're like, fuck you, I will meet you at the whatever.
I'm going to
So-
keep going.
Yeah, so they get to a place called Hell Hollow Brook.
Hell Hollow.
Hell Hollow Brook.
Oh, okay.
Scared the very
Yeah.
life out of me. That name is just, that's a frightening name.
Hell Hollow Brook. Okay. I don't like the sound of that.
Neither. But the brook was fine. That's where everyone met. And once they got there, that's when he was like, I'm going to scout ahead, basically. I don't know if he said he was going to scout ahead, but he took off.
I fucking had enough of you guys. I'm fucking going on.
Shut up. Fuck up and let me And that would be the last time that anyone saw him.
Oh, that's creepy.
You're right. It was. And just like before, there was like a local search party that happened. This time, I believe that the firemen helped. No luck. Eventually, the US Army get involved to try to help find Mitty, this 74-year-old hiker.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm also kind of at that point. You're 74 years old. You have a great life. Have fun hiking forever.
Yeah.
You know? See
Yeah.
ya.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to die, but I'm also like,
Hiking at that age, yeah.
yeah, it's not a good idea to like wander off by yourself.
Yeah.
So the US Army joins them and they search rivers and pretty much every single other place that they could even think to look, right? And the search went on for a month, and the only thing that they were able to find was a single rifle cartridge.
What?
And while he certainly would be deceased by now, considering this was, well, if he were still alive, he'd be 151.
You don't know him, old Mitty.
Touche.
Yeah.
Mitty could be everlasting.
Hiding in his cave. Mitty cave. Mitty go in cave now. Oh. So
But-
no trace.
No trace, neither he nor his remains have ever been located.
Fuck.
That's right. Fuck. In 1946, keeping things around the holiday season, Paula Jean Weldon would decide to hike the Long Trail. Now, it was actually called, quotes, the Long Trail.
That's a long trail.
It was. Guess how many miles it was?
Not very long. 3, 2.
It's called the Long Trail.
Well, it's America. Might be long for some. It was 4 inches long. 6 inches. It was 8 inches long.
Jesus.
In the 20s? 30s.
I'll give you one more chance.
15.
It was 245.6 miles. When I say the long trail, When I say the long trail, I wasn't kidding. I mean, it's called the Long Trail for a reason. That's around 395 kilometers start to finish here.
Oh, fuck. 300.
And 95 kilometers.
So it's like here to... Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know where either, but somewhere
Yeah.
far away.
I was like, where's Sydney?
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, fuck. Oh. And someone's just I'm just going to go for a walk.
She wanted to go for a walk. It was the 1st of December, which means it would have been like the cold sort of period for them. That would have been like, what, winter? Probably.
How long would that have taken? Fucking, like...
That would have taken a long time.
Yeah.
So you would be like, you're like camp hiking at that point. You'll find somewhere to...
200. I'm pretty sure Sydney's about 500, 600. And that's like 6 hours.
In a car.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So you'd be, fuck. Whew, fuck
In
this.
a car where at some points you're driving 100 and plus kilometers an hour.
That's torture.
It's nuts. She must have liked hiking. I don't know. Yeah, so I believe it was like around the 1st of December, and she had arranged to get a lift in from someone called Lewis Knapp. She got napped. I'm pretty sure they actually knew each other as well, and I'm certain that it wasn't him who did it because I believe that she had run into some other hikers when she got there. So she was at least dropped off, so other hikers recalled seeing her.
Yeah.
They recalled seeing her in her, I think it was like her favorite red jacket. I don't know if it was like a goose down or anything, but they saw her. A 4-week search would start, and that was led by her dad, and he was accompanied by the police, and no dice. All they came up with were dead ends.
I was going to... That my... was, did they find her red jacket?
I don't think so.
Nothing.
Like, I'll be editing this if they do later and I've forgotten.
Yeah. So she's just another poof gone. Fuck.
That's right, basically. But yeah, so everything led to dead ends. And in the end, and honestly, I think it's kind of to make himself feel a little bit better, her dad decided to believe that she used the hike as like a ruse. He believed what was actually happening was she was using that as an excuse to get away from the house to meet up with her boyfriend, a secret boyfriend that we don't actually know exists, I don't think. But dad somehow was controlling in some way, shape or form, and that she never really went hitchhiking even though hikers saw her. Instead, she ran away with her boyfriend to live with him in sin.
Okay, Dad.
Well, it was either that she ran away to live in sin or that she met up with the boyfriend and he killed her. These were Dad's theories, but we don't know.
And I guess the biggest thing with hiking as well, you can say, depending on what the terrain's like, maybe they fell, maybe they did this. But people that are seasoned hikers don't normally go off trail.
Yeah, because they know where they're going.
They've done it heaps times before.
And they have that kind of memory that it's like they would recognize the shape, not just of like the path or whatever they're walking on,
Yeah.
but when we reach this corner, there's going to be this type of tree that has this many whatevers. They recognize that kind of stuff. They would not get lost out there.
And they know how dangerous it is to get off the path as
Yeah.
well. Okay.
So it's just a bit bizarre. To
How
me, it's a bit
bizarre.
bizarre. Dee 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 dee. How bizarre, how bizarre. So it's strange. Anyway, after a lot of time, there's lots of dead ends. Her dad is like, deuces, I'm out. And he left Bennington and he never returned. Ever.
What if he killed her?
Of course, everyone probably thought that happened at one point. But I guess maybe Bennington was too much of a painful memory for him.
Yeah, okay. I'm such a dick. I'm like, he killed her. And you're like, oh,
But I mean, he could
painful.
have. He could have. But I mean, if we put it into that sort of, if you're not really connected to an area and you lost the one person you loved
Yeah.
in that space, you probably wouldn't really want to be reminded of it all the time.
All right. With your sense. And I'm like, he's a killer.
But it usually is them. Not in this case, but it usually is. 3 years to the day, the very day, the exact very, very day, James Tedford would also vanish.
On the same date.
The same day, exactly 3 years from that. But this one is probably by far the strangest fucking one you're about to hear.
I just got goosies.
James was a veteran. He lived in the Bennington's soldiers' home because he was a veteran. I think that just might be where you get held up if you don't really have anywhere else to go. Anyway, he decided that he was going to visit his relatives that lived in St. Albans. And so he did. He spent some time with him. It's a holiday season. We spread love around here.
Yeah.
They hung out with him. They then took him back to a bus station for him to get on the bus to head back to Bennington, because that's where he lives, right? And this would be the last time that anyone close to him ever saw him.
He didn't go on a hike.
Just you wait, sunshine.
Just you wait.
There were people on the bus who witnessed him get on and can confirm that he was still on board after leaving the last stop before reaching Bennington. But sometime before reaching Bennington, with the bus not stopping once, he vanished.
Fuck off.
Literally gone. No one saw him actually like apparate or disappear or whatever, but they didn't have a chance to get off because there were no stops between that last station and Bennington.
What the fuck?
He vanished on an occupied and moving bus, but his luggage didn't. It was still on the bus in the rack. So was a bus timetable. His bus timetable was still open on his seat.
What the fuck?
James would never be seen again.
Did they have toilets on the bus back then?
Probably not on those ones.
Because I'm like, toilet break? But you said they didn't stop.
And I mean, this would have been in 1949 or around that time when this happened. I don't know if they would have had like toilets on the bus.
That's fucking weird.
Is that right? October, the month of my birth, not the year. Paul Jepson, an 8-year-old, would join the list of the vanished in the area. His mom decided that she would bring him with her to like one of her jobs. I think it was like near a dump or something. And there are pigs that she had to go and like take care of and feed and that kind of shit. But she thought she'd be quick. So she was like, hey, buddy, Paul, stay in my truck. Stay there. Do not go wandering. Stay in my truck. I'll be right back. I think she's maybe gone for an hour in total.
Shit. Yeah. It's not short time.
So within that hour, somehow, Paul was gone. So she comes back to her car and he's gone. And you think, okay, well, someone probably just napped him. Or maybe he did walk off. Like,
Yeah.
anything could have happened. So she obviously talks to the authorities about that. And she's like, this, I don't know what's happened. He knew not to go anywhere. He's a good boy, blah, 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 blah. They end up getting, I think it's bloodhounds.
Yeah.
Just because they have a really good sense of smell. They pick up on his scent. It leads away from the truck. And Paul vanished at the last place that Paula had been seen in the red jacket. Bizarre. And then the scent vanishes. Gone.
I'm like, there's a serial killer on the trails.
It's Bigfoot.
If there was someone hiding in there, you wouldn't lose.
You'd pick up on that scent though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Maybe. And then you can follow that.
What the fuck?
His dad, like after it all happened and they just couldn't find him, his dad, I think, did an interview, it was probably in a paper, where days before this happened, he told one of the newspapers that his son had been talking about being lured to the mountains. And that's all he had been talking about for days before he vanished.
What the fuck?
The mountain literally called to him and he went.
Nope. Hell to the no, no, no.
And last but very much not least, Frida Langer went missing on October 28th, 1950. Everything is literally around the holiday season.
That's fucking weird.
It's weird. What started off as a lovely camping trip would end in tragedy after Frida and her cousin Herbert, another cousin pair, broke off from the rest of the group to go on a hike. I believe that the rest of the group were at like the campsite. They'd set up a campsite. Her and her cousins were like, let's go have a hike, whatever, right? So they did. The family were camping in the woods close to Glastonbury Mountain, and they decided to walk off. I don't know the direction really, because you can't really Google Maps this part, but they ended up walking off near the Somerset Reservoir, and along the walk, Frida was a bit clumsy and she fell into a stream, and she got all of her clothes and shoes and stuff wet, right? She tells Herbert to like calm his farm and just wait here. She's going to go back to the camp, which was not far. Like, they weren't even that far from the camp. You could get there within like a couple minutes. Like, it was not far.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't going to hike in wet clothes. She'd probably end up getting sick, or she'd get trench foot. Something yucky would happen. Blisters,
like,
whatever.
Chafe.
It just happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
So she goes because she's like, I want to go and get changed.
Yeah.
Wait here like a good boy, Herbert.
Yeah.
And he does, until more than an hour passes and she hasn't returned. So he's like sick of waiting. But he
Yeah.
also wants to kind of make sure she's okay. She's family.
Yeah.
So then he goes for a walk back to the campsite. Doesn't see her along the way. Gets to the campsite. Can't see her there. Asks around. Still, no one's seen her. They're like, she hasn't come back here. He's like, we're literally just up there. She got wet. She's just coming to change her clothes. Like, they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. We have not seen her. After she left with you, we haven't seen her. I was thinking about it as well. I was like, maybe I would just let myself air dry. But considering it's October, it's probably in that area a bit cold at the moment. So, or at least they're getting into like the really cold season for them.
Yeah.
So,
And then if you're hiking, sweating.
hypothermia, dead. And yeah, she had vanished in broad daylight. And like before, roughly 400 people this time would gather in the search, and that was obviously family and volunteers and firemen, soldiers even. They even got aircraft so they could look from over top to try to find her, and it went on for weeks. But it wouldn't be until the 12th of May 1951, so 7 months later, near the Somerset Reservoir, you know where they were, that they had also already extensively searched,
Yeah.
that they would find her body.
What the fuck? Where did they find her? Like, as in, not far from the path?
In the Somerset Reservoir,
Yeah.
which is like the creek, a reservoir of water. Like near that.
Where she fell in?
Probably near where she fell in.
What the fuck? So he saw her walk back, but then they found her.
7 months later in that same location that everyone had already searched.
That's fucking weird. This is making my brain hurt.
The annoying thing is that because of the state of her body and decomp and stuff, because 7 months later it's summer now, or well, spring, summer,
Out in the... Yeah.
they couldn't confirm death. They couldn't get cause of death.
And how long were they searching for her? Do you know?
I believe it was around probably 4 weeks or so.
Yeah, fuck. Because part of me is like, before you said the body was found, I was like, maybe there's kind of like, I don't know, for some reason I was thinking like underground, you know, if they've fallen through something or something like that, because I don't know what the terrain's like. But then that would not explain her just popping up. And how did everyone miss that?
Because funny enough, something that I didn't really go into detail on this because I thought the same,
Yeah.
is that apparently there were old mine shafts and stuff that people could fall down.
Oh.
But you're right, you wouldn't pop back up
Yeah.
and in an area where one was not located.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Because for Paul, I'm like, maybe he fell down the thing. That's why the scent, you know, stopped. But for her to be walking 100 yards and then be back at... What the fuck?
Yeah, it really does not make any sense whatsoever.
And it's not like she would have been dragged out by an animal or... You know what I mean? Like, they didn't find... Well, I guess, yeah, she would have been attacked by... Fuck.
And you think that would be the end of it, right?
Yes, but your face says otherwise.
I'm just brown. In 2019,
Fuck off.
they found the remains of a female, and the autopsy indicated that it was a homicide. And in 2021, they also found the body of a man in a red truck, with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head. So we went there to kill himself.
Shit.
There's a strange connection. Something stranger that I didn't really touch on too much apart from one point that triggered something for you, but it was not the right thing.
Yeah.
The connection was not just that it was all happening in Bennington, right? The Bennington Triangle. But also it involved the word/color red. That guy's truck was red. The female victim from 2019, her nickname was red. Possibly because of her hair color, I'm not too sure, but that was her nickname. And some, if not most, of the other victims had something red related.
Paula, was she red?
Paula, she had a red jacket.
What the fuck? But PSA, dear Mung Beans, if people go missing in a certain area, on like trails and shit, don't fucking go there.
Yeah.
Don't fucking go there. You would have known in papers. People would have known, even if you're visiting. Maybe if you're not visiting. But like, warn people and be like, yeah, a couple of big have gone missing there. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
Exactly, but instead, what do you want to do? I'm going to go on that trial.
I'm going to go on the trial.
I'll go on the trial and I'm going to fucking die.
Like, it's one thing if people hurt themselves and die, but like to vanish and have fucking weird circumstances around it all. Don't fucking go. There's plenty of other trails.
If someone dies from being squeezed to death,
yeah,
all signs say no, don't go.
No.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else. Sorry.
You're so close to Canada, go to Montreal.
Yeah. Go for a hike up there, eh?
Go visit my friends in Canada. How about that?
This is wild. But like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, well, there were a few different theories. From people falling down mine shafts. I don't really go into that detail too much.
Yeah.
Getting lost and getting eaten by animals, though my brain went straight to Bigfoot. I'm so sorry, but it did. When they said squished, I was like, Bigfoot, let's pretend for a moment he's real. Let's say he's real.
Yeah.
That's one big hairy unit. That dude can probably bear hug the living shit out of you. You're crushed, you're dead.
But like, wouldn't you hear screams or something? You know what I mean? Especially with old love. Like, fair enough with old mate in the woods, the first guy.
Well, what if he grabbed her from behind on her mouth and stuff? Like, she's not going to scream through his big hairy palms. What? Maybe he snapped her neck. Like, we don't know, though.
Yeah. Don't know how she died.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but like falling off the track and, you know, going off the track, I'm like, no. If they're seasoned, no. That's not even it's not that one time that they decided to go off track. No.
Yeah. Not being so experienced. It doesn't make sense. Pakawachi.
No.
Pakawachi.
Is it that one? Or what's the ones that like call you to the cliffs and stuff? Is it that one? Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, me want you.
Where are they from again? Come out.
Yeah, me want you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, me want you. Walk one. I mean, it just could be. But also, did you know that Vermont is actually a hotbed for sightings of Bigfoot?
Ah.
Even the FBI released a 20-page document in 2019. Of course they did. Federal Bureau of Insanity. The other thing I was also thinking, and I know we're taking a turn to the tinfoil hats, but what about our friends the aliens? What about it? What about it? They have control over time, apparently. They can freeze time, take the person's gone, you never knew they were there.
And the bus people wouldn't have known.
Exactly. Freeze time.
It's like no memory.
Zap them out. They're all sorted. I'm not obviously saying that that's what I think happened. I'm just saying we need to probably think a little bit outside of the box.
And if the FBI is pulling out a report on Bigfoot, aliens.
Yeah, you're just being a smartass now.
I'm being serious though, because that's my tinfoil hat. Put it on. Classic FBI. Oh, look over here. It's not the aliens. Look over here. Like for the FBI to actually go, oh, Bigfoot. But don't look over here because aliens.
But that is technically today's case. So how about you tell us what you think happened? I'm absolutely open to your wildest imagination. And you can add those to the Q&A section.
Do it.
Or you can reach out to us on our socials.
Do that too.
Correct. And you can find that by visiting our link tree. You can get the link to the link tree from visiting our Instagram. So whatever works for you. But we're very interested in hearing what your theories are, and we can't see what you think. So make sure to check that out. Follow us on all socials. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye. She came up to say hello.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi guys, it's me again. It's Clarice.
It's Clarice.
I came to say hello.
Anyway, I'm fucked.
We're fucked.
So we're on that train of thought. The first victim, technically, what were you gonna say?
Although we're not on the train, we're watching it go past.
We're at the station.
Waiting for the
Come
train.
on, guys, get on. Nah.
Nah, we're just gonna stay here. Sorry. Most inappropriate time.
No, that's fine. If anything, it highlights us
We're like, oh, there's a train.
to a T. What is that? Yeah, huh?
What? Is that ours?
Oh, Lord. Subsequently, in the very center of the Bennington Triangle. Insert spooky noise here.
Oh, what's the Bennington Triangle?
Today's case. Fuckwit.
Is this like a yeah, fuckwit. I didn't know the name of the case. Did I? You just had a couple of bodies found. You just...
I did, but it's funny. What's the Bennington Triangle? It will be the title of the episode. But who cares?
Today's case.
Oh, I love that.
Free the wanger.
No. Free the Ranger.
Free the wanger. What a name.
Her and her colours were like, let's go bang it out in the... No, I shouldn't say that. Let's go have a walk. It was in November of 1943. The end.
Oh, that was really good.
Thanks.
I fucking loved it.
That's what I should say, Tom. It's how I do things now.
Be sure to be back, Mung Beans.
See
Check
you
us out.
next time.
Bye.
See you, cunts. Okay.
Fucking cooked.
Oh, shit.